Hello everyone, welcome back. Wanted to give you a couple updates. I bought a new mic, as you can see. I have to hold it right now because I don't think it has the range. It's not a flexible mic. It's actually a very cheap mic, but it was only $12.50. But we haven't set up the area over there yet that I'm going to be using for these podcasts. We also have something that we're going to put on the wall to give a nice background to. But I'm glad I got the mic. And before you say anything, yes, I'm aware it looks like a penis. And I did a sound test earlier with this mic. And I showed it to my buddy Luke. We went out and had a couple beers, and I mentioned in that video that it looks like a penis. But before we even got to that part, he looked at it and said, you know that looks like a dick. And I was like, yeah, I know. But that's okay, because if you disagree with what I'm saying, you can just sit there in your hatred and pretend like I'm just sucking a dick. Or whatever you want to do. But we're eventually going to get it set up, and hopefully it works out good. I didn't like having the thing clipped to my shirt because I never knew where to put it, and it just seemed to... I always had to like tilt my head or put my head down or wherever the mic was, because I wasn't sure how it was, how the sound was when you guys watch the video. There's Sing Lai. Sing Lai, say hello. Hello. There she is. That gives you a view of the back of our apartment, the front door. And over there's our little window, and she is sitting on the bed. Boop, 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 boop. Right there. Oh, by the way, this is pretty funny. Again, if this is your first time, I know for many of you it's not, probably most of you, but you never know when you're going to get new viewers and new subscribers when it comes to the YouTubes. I do live in Cambodia. I'm an English teacher here. And things work a little bit differently. For instance, I told Sing Lai we need to go out and buy as I talked about in my last podcast, we eat on the bed. We don't have a table or chairs to sit around and eat on. So I said, hey, we need to go out and buy table and chairs. She said, I got it, basically. This is what you got. Oh, let me try to get it in there. There's the chairs. There's the table with that purple thing on top of it, right there. That's the table and chairs. As you got. It's very common here to eat in near the ground. When you go out to all these street food places, they always have those little plastic tables and chairs set up. And so she thought that's what I meant. But it'll work. At least we're not eating on the bed. I'm not spilling soup and sauce all over the bed sheets. God knows there's enough stains on those bed sheets from other things. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean drooling, because I'm old and in my sleep I just drool. I don't know where your mind was right there, but it was probably in the gutter, and shame on you. Shame on you. Says the guy who's holding a microphone that looks like a penis. Very good. But I like living here. I really do. One thing I really like is that Cambodia is a very gay-friendly country. They're very open and respectful of other people's choices. And as a straight man, I have a great deal of respect for that. I think people should be allowed to just be who they are. Do what makes them happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, it doesn't bother me at all, right? Sounds like a reasonable thing that we should expect from other human beings. Now, that being said, okay, here it comes. But seriously, with that being said, I have known some gay people in my life that have been very closed-minded and, in my opinion, too judgmental. I was hanging out with a gay friend once back home, and all of a sudden he just looked at me and he went, "You know, Dave, there's no such thing as a straight man. Everybody is gay on the inside. They're just waiting for it to come out." I was taken aback. In fact, I was kind of offended because I can't believe that came out of his mouth, you know? So I stopped sucking his dick and I walked right out. How dare he? How dare he accuse me of that? That's some pretty bad stuff, man. Another thing I like living here, another thing I like about living here is the cost of living. You can find things fairly cheap, and that's all good, but you do have to be careful because cheap does not always mean functional. I have people trying to sell me things all the time that A, is not what I wanted, and B, they try to insist to me, the person trying to buy, that this is what you want, trust me. And that's those two words, when somebody's trying to sell something, should never be included. Trust me, I will never, ever do that. I've talked about this before. I'm a closed-off person. My faith in humanity is about that big at any given moment. Or sometimes I see one of those cute videos where a fellow human being is helping out another fellow human being, and it might go up to here. But basically, I don't trust anybody. When I went out to get this microphone, I told them it was for my Android phone. And so the 3.5 millimeter jack has to have 3 black rings around it. It has to have 3 black rings around it. I've got other jacks that have the 2 black rings. That's for your laptop or computer. And it would work fine. But I need it for my Android phone. And he just looked at me and he said, "No, this one will work." I said, "No, that one will not work. I have tried them. I have my buddy Luke. We tried it, experimented with 2 microphones in his splitter, which only had the 2 rings around the jack, the main jack, and neither microphone worked. Because what I want to do is go over to his place. He has a nice place, you know. He has a nice big apartment. We can sit on a couch. We can be socially distanced from each other, but there's still enough room if we had that splitter where we could each have our own microphone and have a conversation. He will talk about something. I will tell him he is wrong. He will get indignant and tell me I'm an asshole. I will agree, and then we'll go on to the next subject. That's how our conversations go. But we're getting that all together. I've got my ear to the ground. I'm putting some posts up, trying to find out where the best place is to buy one of those. I went to 3 or 4 different places today, and none of them had what I was looking for. Sometimes that's the price you pay for living in a foreign country. You know, they're just not going to have the things that are readily available to people back in the Western world, and I'm okay with that. I think that's a small price to pay for being able to live a life that I really enjoy. Excuse me again. But yeah, everything else is going great. We have a food outreach tomorrow. I love going out to the villages, the outer villages outside of the big city here of Siem Reap, and We take food out there. We cook it for them. We do different kinds of things. And that's not a brag on me. People from my other channel, Dave Does Cambodia, they donate money. That's what we use the money for. So it's all because of them we can go out and do these things. But I have to say, after being out there about a couple hours, I mean, I feel for these people. I do. I have compassion for them. I love going out there and giving them food and cooking food and bringing them rice and everything. But, man, it's rough out there. It is rough. Like, you got to sit on a bed frame. Not a bed, but no mattresses or anything, but a bed frame. And they always have dogs that are they're mangy, they're out of control. Nobody takes care of their dogs here. Well, not nobody, but rarely do people take care of their dogs here. So they catch diseases, and they're half their fur is gone, and they got scabs and scars and everything, and they just growl at everything, and there's no shelter from the overbearing heat that can happen here on most days. Today it was like 107 degrees Fahrenheit, which was it can be sometimes brutal. And as much as I like going out there, there's always a little part of me that says I just want to go back home, because I got a fan, as you can see right there. I got another fan, as you can see right there. And I'm all set. They don't have none of that. So I feel sorry for them, but I want to help them. I enjoy helping them. But I couldn't live out there. I'm not that tough. And I know a lot of people, they come over here and they have that, that attitude like, I'm going to live like the locals. I'm going to be the tough guy. I'm going to change my whole lifestyle from living in a privileged Western world, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to live in a shack made out of old metal pieces that you find and stitch together. You're going to do that with no electricity. You're going to do it with no fan, no aircon, no Wi-Fi. And so far that's been unsuccessful about 100% of the time for people like me. So I think it's important to remember to tell yourself the truth and be okay with it. Like, you can help, you can contribute, but don't set yourself up as some kind of a hero to the poor people, because that will only get you in trouble. All right. That's all I wanted to say here. Like I said, we're setting things up for a better podcast. I want to get guests in here. I want to have a better backdrop. So be sure to leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to talk, what you want to hear me talk about. I'm open to ideas. You give me an idea, I'll write something about it. I'll discuss it. That's what I like to do. But sometimes my mind is as blank as the sperm that I'm shooting out of my penis. Yep. Nothing. So you got to help me along here a little bit. Be sure to check out all my links down below. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and liking and sharing. Huh? You don't do any of that? Yeah, well then fuck you. Nah, I don't care. Do it now, and I'll take back the fuck you later. Let me know in the comments that you said, hey, take back your fuck you. And I will take it back. Because I am not one to hold a grudge. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.